Russia, as we have been reporting, says it already plans to begin mass trials as soon as next week after the publication of a study into its COVID vaccine. The results say it did indeed generate an immune response in phase 1 and 2 of its trials. Phase 3, though, is still not complete. Well, my next guest is editor-in-chief of the Lancet, where these latest results were published. Richard Horton joining me now from London, and it's a pleasure to have you on, sir. For our audience at home, do we have a COVID vaccine? Can we say that now?
No, we cannot say that we have a vaccine that's ready for wide-scale public use. What we can say is that this new Russian vaccine, the results are encouraging, but it would be premature, highly premature, to think that this is the basis for a successful vaccine for public use.
Why? Why premature?
First of all, this was a very small study, just 76 volunteers. Compare that with the Oxford vaccine study that we published just some weeks ago. That was over 1,000 participants. So this is a tiny study. What it has established, clearly, is that the vaccine definitely elicits the immune response that you want it to elicit. It was quite a strong response. And based upon these 76 participants, so far, the vaccine seems to be safe and free of any serious adverse effects. But as you just said, we now need these large-scale randomized trials, phase 3 studies, and they are ongoing. They are continuing in about 40,000 participants. They've already begun in Moscow, and we need to wait for the results of those studies before we can say anything more definitive.
I made the point earlier in this show that the pride of a nation is not in a show of military might or the unveiling of a monolith these days. Instead, it seems to be the results of a medical trial. How concerned are you about what is seemingly gearing up to be this race to be first?
Yeah, I mean, I listened to the media briefing that was held this afternoon in Moscow, and it was unfortunate, I think, because the way that the results were being presented was as a challenge to Western science. The presenters were saying that they've received a lot of criticism. This was the response to the criticism, that their vaccine was better than the AstraZeneca vaccine, and it was now up to AstraZeneca and Western scientists to answer to their citizens. And I think if we start setting nation against nation, vaccine against vaccine, company against company, this is completely going to undermine any kind of rational response. This is a global crisis, Becky. A global crisis needs a global response and a global solution. We do want lots of vaccines that are coming through into phase 3 trials because some are going to succeed and some are going to fail. But this isn't a war between countries. This should be about cooperation. So I think it was unfortunate the way it was presented today.